bosses are awesome. They put your gaming skills to the final test and gives you lots of fun. There are some final bosses that quite literally make you say, "Are you fucking kidding me?" But some of these final bosses are really good with their music, challenge, atmosphere, or the boss itself. Okay, needless to say the rules since you all know the drill. But this is final bosses list after all, so there's gonna be spoilers on this countdown. So if you don't wanna have spoilers, then... That being said, fight! Because this entry doesn't have its own boss theme, we'll use some random Twisted Metal music. And by the way, spoiler alert. To start off this countdown, we have Sweet Tooth's Carnival of Carnage. Yeah, one of the longest names for the final boss, along with Queen Slug 4, but... Anyways, this vehicle, just... wow! That is fucking huge! To take out this colossal fortress, you need to go through 4 fun phases. In the first phase, you need to destroy a clown head from the bottom of this moving deathmobile. But you need to be very careful in this part because A. There are Sweet Tooth ice cream trucks trying to blast you to smithereens. B. Only way to get health and better ammo to take out this target is between those huge wheels. And a wrong move between these wheels causes damage to your vehicle. C. This fortress is surrounded with an electric cage, and it's always bad news in this game. And D. The clown head is armed with a flamethrower that makes serious damage to your vehicle. Once you take out the clown head, use it to get inside the fortress for the phase 2. In this phase, you're in a giant pinball table full of crazy clowns. In here, you need to crash into a trigger that fires a cannon. The cannon shoots 2 clowns with bombs that you need to use to destroy 3 targets on the exit. Once you take out the targets, it's time for more tricky phase of the battle, the obstacle course. This phase speaks for itself. Just get to the top of the fortress to proceed to the final phase. In this phase, you use the Talon Chopper to face the main control of the fortress, Sweet in the Box. First, you need to take down those previously mentioned ice cream trucks that are now in Sweet Bot mode. Once you have taken down one ice cream truck, grab it and drop it to Sweet in the Box's weak point, a hole. Do this few times and you win. This battle is number 10 because the 4 challenging phases, its design and the cutscene after the battle. I mean, just watch it. It's so satisfying to get that awful bitch dollface dead! Anyways, roll the film.
The giant beast had been destroyed. Now it was time to see Calypso. But I was having second thoughts about my prize. If this mask comes off, even if it worked and I'm beautiful again, I'll just be back where I was, dealing with an endless swarm of whiny bitches with half my talent. Why climb the ladder of success when Calypso could just snap his fingers and take me straight to the top? I wanted out of this mask, but I only got one prize. And I'd rather be famous than free. Calypso, I want to be the world's most famous supermodel. Excuse me, Maya? No more struggle. No more competition. No more fighting whiny bitches over billboards. No more giving in to nasty photographers who just want to sleep with me. And no more selling my soul just to get time on some second-rate catwalk. No, never again. It's my turn to be number one. For my prize, you put me on the world's biggest runway. You make me the center of attention, and then, baby, you watch me shine.
Your wish is granted.
Oh my god, he did it. He actually did it. Is this New York? Paris? Milan? Wait, what the hell is this?
This is what you asked for, Miss Sparks. I certainly hope this runway is big enough for your dreams.
Calypso, you son of a bitch!
Why, Miss Sparks, you were right. You do shine.
Okay, this segment turned out to be longer than I expected, so let's just get to the next segment right away. But first, I need to say my personal opinion on Dollface.
I think you're a selfish bastard, and I think you can go to hell!
Babes Mayhem!
And that's exactly what the Jak and Daxter series is all about. But anyways, the final bosses in Jak and Daxter series are great. Gol and Maya were decent challenges for the very easy precursor Legacy. Metal Core was hard but fun fight, and it has awesome boss team, as you can hear right now. Metal Caden was good fight as well, but it's nothing compared with Core. But do I even need to say what's number 9 on this list? Darkmaker Terraformer from Jak 3. Holy crap, and I thought Carnival of Carnage was a huge machine. In this battle, you need to use Sand Shark to take out weak spots in Terraformer's legs. Terraformer only circles around and drops mines and spinning slicers. Trust me, this phase might sound easy, but it's not. Once the legs are destroyed, you need to destroy Terraformer's head. This phase is a lot more challenging than the first phase, since Terraformer has more attacks in this phase. And trust me, when he has 1 HP left, he uses almost all of them at the same time. All you need to do in this phase is to shoot back of its head 4 times to defeat it, when you get a chance for that is. And that's just it. Nothing special in this battle. That's why it's only number 9. Oh wait, there is one last thing. Just listen to that epic music! Final verdict, Terraformer is amazing finale for Jak and Daxter trilogy. With its challenge and epic music, it earned its spot as number 9 on this list. Licensed games are sometimes awesome, and not just from their final bosses. In order to find the number 8 final boss on this list, we need to take a look at an underrated licensed game, The Simpsons game. As a big Simpsons fan, I can say this game was pretty decent. After you reach Matt Groening's mansion in this game, you think this as a final stage. Well, guess what? It's not. Once you defeat Matt Groening, he flees from the scene and there isn't anyone to stop alien invasion in Springfield. So the Simpsons have to venture to heaven to ask help from God himself. Before reaching the God, you need to face two very lame sub-bosses, Shakespeare and Benjamin Franklin. And then you finally find the God playing video games. But God refuses to help the Simpsons and the final battle against him begins. And god damn is it awesome! Pun intended. In this battle you have possibly the easiest controls of any final boss, directional buttons. This battle is a dance-off, so you don't need anything else. But believe me, this fight is far from easy. You need to time your moves perfectly to succeed. You need to take out 4 waves of enemies God sends with his dance moves. You know when one wave is over when you destroy one of God's game consoles that has very funny names. PlayStation, Exodus Box, Jesus Christ! Pun intended once again. And while you dance against the god, that incredible remix of Rock You Like a Hurricane plays on the background. But this battle loses points for having one of the most irrational endings ever. I admit, it may be funny, but I was expecting an ending that makes sense like the Simpsons movies story. So overall, God is challenging, fun and good final boss for a decent game. And honestly, I never expected him to be a final boss like this. Bitches, fuck mind for prepare. I'm sorry, that gone slightly wrong. What I meant to say is, prepare for mindfuck, bitches. And when you mention mindfuck, the first series that comes in mind is Earthworm Jim.
This whole place is a giant mind.
But there's another mindfucking series, but not as much as Earthworm Jim. Rayman series. As for the final bosses, they're pretty adequate. Mr. Dark was okay, I guess, and Grolgot was very hard but fun final boss. And then there's the final boss of Rayman 3. Awesome! Reflux the Gnaren has fused himself with the game's main villain, Andre, to become a monster with godly powers. Seriously, he called Gnaren god Leptus to give him powers. But anyways, Monster Reflux is the longest final boss I ever faced. Yeah, it has 4 phases like Carnival of Carnage has, but at least this fight doesn't go as fast as that battle. Anyways, in first phase, Reflux protects himself with a shield and striking lightning bolts to the ground. First you need to get the Lockjaw power up to take out the shield. But while taking down the shield, Reflux shoots small energy balls at you, so you need to be careful. Once the shield is down, get Heavy Iron Fist power up to smack Reflux's scepter to damage him. Repeat this until the health bar is empty. But keep in mind that Reflux's attacks are getting more and more fast-paced when you damage him. And when I say fast-paced, I mean fast-paced. When Reflux's health bar is empty, he sticks the scepter on his back and turns into a giant. In this phase, you need to find a lockjaw power-up to get your hands on Heavy Iron Fist power-up. During this phase, Reflux is using 3 attacks. He's punching the ground that sends you sky high and makes you easy target for his swing attack. So you need to be in the air when he pounds the ground. And then there's that previously mentioned swing what can be avoided by going to gaps on your path. And when you're near the Heavy Iron Fist, Reflux shoots spike balls in your way that are very easy to avoid. And once you're getting the Heavy Iron Fist, Reflux hits to the ground and his hand gets stuck, and here's your chance to climb to his back and smack the scepter stuck on his back. Same as last time, smack it until health bar is empty. And again, Reflux's attacks are getting really fast-paced. And to be honest, his growls during these parts sounds like 2 dinosaurs having a sex. What the hell is wrong with you, Ubisoft? Trying to make your series as bigger, mindfuck? Anyways, in third phase, Reflux and some platformers start to hover, and you need to use Throttlecopter power-ups to get to the Shock Rocket power-up. But don't think Reflux is just floating there doing nothing, he's trying to use sonic waves to damage you. Once you reach the Shock Rocket, just launch it and the game aims it to the scepter for you. And you think the fight is over, right? Wrong! Reflux gets wings and now you need to use Clawbox's hovercraft for the final phase. You need to use the turret to take out the shield protecting the scepter and protect yourself from Reflux's energy balls. Do this twice and Reflux tries to punch you, and here's your chance to fire the scepter. And then Reflux lands to heal himself by reproducing hoodlums to cure him. You need to take out as much hoodlums as you can and then repeat the pattern until all the hoodlums are gone. And again, Reflux is getting more fast-paced during this fight. But when you get the health bar empty, then Reflux finally is defeated. And the remaining thing in this fight is to turn that annoying bastard Andre into Red Lum. And then the game is cleared. Final verdict, Monster Reflux is an amazing final boss. With its challenging and fast-paced 4 phases, this boss earned its number 7 spot on my list.
You're an asshole!
As I stated before, Medieval is one of my favorite games of all time. It has great gameplay, lovable atmosphere, and not so awesome bosses.
The Pumpkin King!
Of course, final battle against Zarok is the exception.
The battle against Zarok begins with Dan summoning the soldiers he once fought alongside to help fight off Zarok's bodyguards, with Dan playing medic to heal his undead comrades. Zarok then sends in a revives Lord Kardok, his champion who Canny Tim killed during the battle at Galamir. Despite his intimidating appearance, Kardok falls rather quickly to Fortescue and his arsenal of medieval weaponry, with a hilarious reaction from Zarok afterwards.
Bugger.
Finally, after humorously turning himself into a chicken and a sheep, Zarok turns himself into a giant flightless dragon, and the final showdown begins. Despite Zarok being coated by a protective aura, as well as being able to spit acid and create a massive ball of fire and electricity around his body, Fortescue eventually defeats his nemesis, and thus saving Galamir from the evil sorcerer's grasp. So, Nicholas,
Yeah?
is this boss really on this list?
The answer to that is yes and no.
Huh? What do you mean?
Let me ask ya, have you ever think how much different this battle is in the remake, Medieval Resurrection?
Not really. Is it any better?
Much different and lot better. This fight is simply said amazing, and it's not gonna be anywhere near as easy as in the original Medieval. Unlike in the original game, this fight doesn't have 3 phases. Instead, it has 4 phases. And yes, another final boss with 4 phases deal with it. Anyways, in the first phase, you need to take out Zarok's champion, Lord Kardok's spoiler guards and skeletal soldiers. Then in the second phase, you need to defeat Lord Kardok. You need to dodge his magic arrows and then hit his stomach to damage him. Once he's out of half of his HP, he then tries to charge at you. Just jump over him and then you get the chance to attack. Once you defeat Lord Kardok, Zarok sends his Fazgul army on the arena. And this is where Sir Daniel fuses the pieces of the Anubis stone that he gathered from the early stages. He uses the stone to summon his own undead army against the Fazguls. In third phase, you need to use the Anubis stone's power to give your own health to recover the damaged allies. But just like in the original game, if you fail in this phase, that's an instant game over, no questions asked. But when you succeed, your army turns into health wheels and then Zarok turns himself into a giant cobra. And this phase of the fight somewhat reminds me from Jafar turning himself into a giant snake as well. I hope they make Zarok turn into a snake in a medieval movie if they ever gonna do it. But anyways, you need to attack Zarok's mouth and tip of his tail when he's still to damage him. And he has 4 attacks. He spits toxic at you, tries to bite you, makes a larger shockwave on the ground, and he spins his tail across the arena. That tail is actually very hard to avoid without taking damage. Once Zarok is out of HP, the fight is over, and so my third favorite character finally becomes the true hero of Galamir. And while this battle goes on, an amazing orchestra music plays during this fight. Just amazing.
Wow! And I thought the original's final boss was intense. Anyways, good luck with the rest of the countdown.
Okay, catch you later. Good luck with your videos and thanks for helping me here.
No, thank you for having me, Nicholas. May I have the honors? Next entry!
Sonic series is known from having an epic final bosses with amazing boss teams. But in order to find the number 5 final boss, we need to take a look at my favorite Sonic game, Sonic Heroes. And for those who doesn't know the plot yet, I'll fill ya in with some stuff. Spoiler alert! In this game, 4 teams are set out to defeat Dr. Eggman. Or so they thought. At one point of Team Sonic and Team Dark stories, you noticed that a fake Eggman was controlling the Egg Albatross. But when they leave to the next location, you notice something strange.
It's not an Eggman robot. Sonic! Knuckles! Wait for me!
All life form data successfully copied.
Hang on a sec, was that Metal Sonic? So apparently, Metal Sonic has been masterminding this whole plot all along. While the real Eggman was locked up in a small room and was rescued by Team Chaotix. And when you have cleared all 4 stories and collected all 7 Chaos Emeralds, you get the final story. In here, Metal Sonic finally shows up and uses his new data from the playable characters Froggy and Chocola to transform into Metal Madness. And then this epic battle begins. When fighting Metal Madness, you first play as Team Rose, then as Team Chaotix, and finally as Team Dark. Objective of this battle is very simple. Just hit the weak spot enough times to proceed. Metal Madness has several effective attacks, such as Flamethrower, launching spikes and crystal missiles that imprisons the characters inside crystals. And while you fight Metal Madness, possibly one of the most underrated boss teams in the Sonic series plays on the background. But how this battle truly shines is when Metal Madness transforms into Metal Overlord. And then Team Sonic uses the Chaos Emeralds and goes after Metal Overlord for the final showdown. In this part of the fight, you can't hurt Metal Overlord with your attacks. Instead, you need to attack his attacks to build up the Team Blast just to damage Metal Overlord. However, you need to keep your eyes on the ring count, since if you run out of rings,
You lose.
and if you're not fast enough to get the Team Blast, Metal Overlord uses Chaos Control to stop time, making this fight a bit challenging. And even I can't deny that this part of the battle has an awesome boss team called What I'm Made Of.
Trying to reach inside of me, trying to drain my energy. Let me show you just what I'm made of. Simple curiosity, trying to take a bite of me. Let me show you just what I'm made of now.
In conclusion, Metal Madness and Metal Overlord are awesome finale for my favorite Sonic game. And this is truly the moment what actually made Metal Sonic so awesome, instead of that lame Sonic CD. Up yours! Sly Cooper series is very unique platforming series. It has interesting gameplay, great story and most of the time very lovable characters. Not to mention Sly's awesome ancestors like the ever awesome Ryoichi Cooper, funny Tennessee Kid and Bob, and Salim Al-Kupar.
Basically what we make here is rubber. We're not trying to diversify. We don't make knickknacks, we don't make tchotchkes or really anything that's gonna catch your eye.
Oh, now I'm falling from topic in here. Let's not forget that this series has excellent bosses, especially in the first game. And I did almost forget that because of that catchy song. Anyways, my favorite boss in the Sly Cooper series is battle against Clockwork in the first game. This boss had a great build-up, so let's get to it. when you start the game, first thing you see is a mysterious giant owl on the background. And when you defeat other bosses of the game, you notice the same owl on the pages of Devious Raccoons. And when you head to Krakkarova volcano, Sly notices these too and says that the owl looks like the police files' mysterious Clockwork. When you destroy Clockwork's death ray, Clockwork shows up and starts the amazing villain dialogue.
Sly Cooper, you have escaped my gas chamber and destroyed my death ray. Remarkable. You Coopers always find a way to beat me.
Always? So that was you in the background of all those old pictures in the Thievius Raccoonus. How old are you?
Perfection has no age.
What? You're immortal?
Revenge is the prime ingredient in the fountain of youth. I've kept myself alive for hundreds of years with a steady diet of jealousy and hate, awaiting the day when I would finally eclipse your family's thieving reputation.
Sly! My missiles don't hurt him but seem to create holes in his armor. Shoot into the gaps I create!
And then the fight begins. First phase is pretty simple. Clockwork fires you with energy balls and then Carmelita fires at Clockwork. You need to shoot to the body part where Carmelita shot him to damage Clockwork. And when his health bar is empty, then we hear more about Clockwork's plan.
I don't get it. You're so familiar with my family. You must have known my father had a son. If you hated the Coopers so much, why did you let me live when you stole the Thievius Raccoonus?
Because I wanted to show the world that without your precious book, the Cooper line was nothing.
Ah, well, there's where you're wrong. The Thievius Raccoonus doesn't create great thieves. It takes great thieves to create the Thievius Raccoonus.
Enough, Sly Cooper. It ends here. I will finish you like I finished your father. Then the Cooper line will be erased and the only master thief will be Clockwork.
And then the phase 2 begins. It's same as last time, but this time Clockwork shoots electronic rings that you need to get through them. And when health bar is empty again, Clockwork falls to the lava and you need to take out his head on foot. You need to use your platforming skills to avoid security lasers protecting Clockwork. And during this phase, you hear Clockwork saying that he was a florist before becoming a thief. A florist? And I thought that Moses Hightower was a weird choice for that job. But anyways, when you reach Clockwork's head, just smash it. And during this, you hear Clockwork vowing that Coopers will never get rid of him. Lastly, an interesting fact about this battle. Did you know that this boss has 2 different boss teams depending on the version you play? I personally prefer the team from PS3 version, as you can hear right now. Series, and this battle shows that not all owls are stupid. And believe it or not, it's not my favorite boss from a Sucker Punch game. This is my favorite boss from a Sucker Punch game. Spoilers for Infamous series. And yes, I finally remembered to put that warning. Deal with it. Final battle against Kessler from first Infamous game is downright mind-blowing. When you first time face this boss, you might feel very satisfied to finally kick his ass from what he did through the game. He gave the Ray Sphere to be delivered by Cole and caused Empire City to blow up and killing innocent people. He stole Alden Tate's place as the leader of the First Sons. He got Zeke to betray Cole. He killed Cole's girlfriend Trish at the near end of the game. Jesus! This guy did many terrible things during this game. But the question is, who is Kessler? What's he up to? How does he know Cole so well? And the final battle against Kessler makes you think these questions a lot harder. Since Kessler keeps taunting Cole about his personal life. And when you take out about quarter of his health, you go to the button mashing part. Where you don't actually succeed, so don't bother doing anything. What the fuck? What kind of a horsey shit is that all? Hey look, a platypus! Anyways, when you fail in that part, Zeke comes out of nowhere and starts to protect Cole. Until Kessler sends him sky high. And then the battle proceeds with the normal pattern. When Kessler has half of his HP left, the music changes and Kessler calls some drones into match. And that's the only difference in that part of the battle. But when Kessler's HP is out, then there's one more button mashing moment left. But this time around, you succeed in this if you mash X button. And then Cole finishes Kessler in a very awesome way. And then there's the very shocking reveal at the cutscene after this fight. I mean, see for yourself.
I looked down at Kessler, reveling in my victory. And then I heard him whisper, "Trish, I love you. Please forgive me." Then he was on me, fingers digging into my face. As Kessler's secrets played out in my head, I finally began to understand. I saw his nemesis, a beast intent on extinguishing all life. In those early days, Kessler could have used his powers to stop it, but instead he fled with his family, leaving others to fend for themselves. Hunted for years, Kessler and his family watched as the rest of the world went to hell. And then it was too late. Too late to fight. Too late to save anyone. In that moment of failure and grief, he used his newest and most dangerous power. He went on a one-way trip back in time, attempting to rewrite history. Kessler seized control of the First Sons and accelerated the Ray Sphere's development. Decades spent plotting the blast, organizing the quarantine, finding me. Yet the thing that drove him forward, Kessler's sole link to the past, was a picture from his wedding day, when he married Trish, with Zeke as his best man. My brain lurched, unable to accept that Kessler and I were the same person. That he'd come back in time to mold me into the savior he failed to be, going so far as to kill the woman he loved, I loved, so that I wouldn't be tied down by emotions. No, Kessler wanted me strong, ruthless, so that when I faced the beast, I'd be capable of making impossible decisions, all for the common good. And then Kessler fell back, dead. His final message, my final message, burned into my brain. I take one last look down at myself, my future self, and turn away, the rage curdling inside. I hate everything about Kessler, but when the time comes, I will be ready.
Wow, that cutscene gave a lot of points for this battle, and it gave the answers to everything we wondered about this guy. Final verdict, Kessler is exactly what final boss should be. Intense, satisfying, epic, and so much more. Now if you'll excuse me, I want to listen Rubber Band's Rubber Balls to the end. Just kidding!
thanks to Obsidious fan, this entry's gonna be a lot easier for me.
That being said, drop the beat!
Evil Twins from Crash Twin Sanity is downright astonishing final boss. I'll leave a build-up from this segment, so let's get to the fight itself. In first phase, you play as Nina Cortex. Okay, this phase is the easiest one, because all you need to do is to destroy all glowing capsules in the arena. Once the capsules are destroyed, Evil Twins' death bot swaps its claws into 2 guns. And so it's Cortex's job to take him out with his tiny laser blaster.
What is it with bad guys and lasers?
This is the more challenging part of the battle, since you need to be very careful if you don't wanna get
shot in the ass by the US military.
Once the guns are out, Crash shows up, but he's driving the Mecha Bandicoot, the first boss of the game. Where did Crash get that thing anyways? Well, if Spyro was in Evil Twins' treasure vault, everything's possible. Anyways, the final phase is a duel of 2 mechas. While Deathbot uses a lightsaber and force field against you, you need to use missiles and plasma shots on Deathbot. And once Deathbot's health bar is empty, Mecha Bandicoot makes an awesome finish with Chainsaw and the fight is over. And why is this battle number 2? First, the battle is so much fun. Second, this is a final boss where you fight as Cortex, not against him. And finally, the music on this fight is downright epic. It's 100% human voice music, so no instruments. How Michael Winslow would succeed in video game soundtracks. But it's time to wrap this up. In conclusion, Evil Twins are epic finale for a great game, and this battle really shows that the bird is a word.
Well, a bird, bird, bird. A bird's a word. Well, a bird, bird, bird. A bird's a word. Well, a bird, bird, bird.
And yes, I actually like this song. Well, somewhat. But the question is, what could beat this boss? Well, the obvious answers are Crash, Cortex and Nina, but you know what I meant. Well, let's see some honorable mentions before getting to number 1. This is gonna be the most controversial thing on my channel, right behind my opinion about Kratos and South Park. But to make a build up for number 1 final boss, There's a story behind this boss.
Dumb broad.
No, not that story. Once upon a time, there was a character. He was created at 1995 as a mascot for Sony PlayStation. He was used in early commercials of PlayStation, but when Ken Kutaragi saw this mascot in E3, he rejected this mascot. Some people say that he was shot by Ken Kutaragi in a parking lot. Some say that he was gone exile in deep within the PlayStation's mainframe. And nobody didn't hear anything about him ever since. Until in year 2012. Before that year, we all thought him as a myth. But it appears that he's real, and he's here to make sure that if he can't be Sony's mascot, then no one can.
Shut up and get to the point!
Okay, I was gonna finish the build-up anyways. The greatest final boss, in my opinion, is Polygon Man. Because why not? Okay, please hear me out. In my opinion, Polygon Man has one of the most interesting backstories of any video game boss. That alone gave him a lot of points. But then there's some of his quotes. No, not those cliché villain monologues, which are the only bad thing about this boss. I mean those references he makes.
Power is an illusion. Absolute power is a seamless illusion.
Next, the fight itself. I need to say one thing about this guy first. Honestly, I find this boss as more creative than the battle against Pair of Hands with unoriginal attacks. Don't get me wrong, I like Master Hand and Crazy Hand too, but Polygon Man is more creative. In this fight, you fight against one of the characters who failed to defeat Polygon Man and thus turned into his minion. Anyways, Polygon Man himself is watching the fight from the background, and over the time he turns into some hazard from normal stages. These hazards are Hydra, Hades, Patapon, Goliath, Iron Maiden, Negativitron, 2 Turbo Cannons, or Satan Chimera. Once you take out the character you're up against, Polygon Man tries to crush you, and here's your chance to attack him. And then he sends 2 characters against you, and when he has 1 HP left, he sends all 3 characters you already defeated. But what truly makes this fight so special is the symbolism behind this fight. The symbolism of the entire PlayStation brand. A rejected and long forgotten mascot has gathered a bunch of Sony exclusive characters and some other characters to fight each other in order to make sure that anyone can't be PlayStation's mascot.
He's cool! He's cool! He's calculating! Service!
And the battle against him just shows that the fate of the PlayStation brand is in your hands. Lastly, think about how many different ways there is to face this boss. With that, I mean that the first thing you do when you get to the arcade mode, you choose a character from 24 characters, and then you choose from 3 difficulty levels. So there's 72 ways to face this boss. I'm not kidding. That's downright as amazing as the 3-faced boss team of this battle. With all these facts I mentioned, there's no doubt why Polygon Man is the best final boss in my opinion. I'm nifinland, and I actually love a PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
How could this happen? None have beaten me until now.
so sorry that you all see that one.
Service!
You reveal, they can't guide you. What you thought was real is just a lie too. If you can't find the truth will find you. The things that you detest are deep inside you. The things that you possess, they only ride you. The words that you confess are just a lie too. If you can't find the truth will find you. We all caught up in it, cause we all brought up in it. The hardship we endure is just a part of living. All the hearts we break, that's just a part of building. All the parts we take, that's just a part of giving. You don't see it, what you see it is hidden. And when they hide it, they don't want no one to find it forbidden. And when they lying, then it's really only truth that they spittin'. If you believe them, then it's really just a lie that's been written. It's kinda hard to try to figure out the science religion, cause all the hate that you spraying is really love that's misgiven. And all the love that you craving is just a hateful incision. And when our souls cradle, then it's in a grave or in prison. The state we live in ain't the way we envisioned. When we were babies, there were so many ways we were left wishing. But now the world has been pulled over these eyes that they glisten. And now that glimmer of hope won't even shine in a prism. The things that you conceal, they can't hide you. The things that you reveal, they can't guide you. What you thought was real is just a lie too.
Well, I'm back from vacation.
Welcome back, Uncle Bjorgen. Did you have a good time?
Not really. This service was horrible.